So it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and so since the daily vlogs on my other channel, created a self-portrait which will hopefully go into the Portrait Artist of the Year, just looking at what it looks like when I get those tired moments. And it's difficult talking about because, you know, it's social media, you want to put your best foot forward, you want to show those highlights, and I do want to start putting more of my artwork that's fully finished out into the world. But at the same time, I do want to capture those moments where it is, you know, I do have those moments where it's difficult at times and I do get fatigue. And that's part of my life with ADHD and chronic fatigue. So I'm painting that painting just to sort of capture that moment, to remind myself to pace and be within my limits. And they're getting better, but yeah, I definitely overdid it when it came to the daily vlogs, even though I did learn a lot in that time. See, some grips I found. And it stopped about there. But going forward, I'm going to change the way I approach video. Film on one day and then edit when I have a moment, and not try and do it all in one go. So then I was involved in a brilliant expedition, which was only for one night, but it was part of the Bristol Sober spaces. It was their first night, and they had various bands from the Sober record label, Not Saints. The room where the artwork was in was like a really, it felt like a proper gallery. It felt like those sort of galleries you get in the mall, where away from the busyness of the dance floor. It was difficult sort of going up to people and saying, "Hey, I am the artist," rather than just some random person. But I talked to a lot of interesting people. I did a little journalism video for someone where I was a master's student doing an article on that night. Yeah, I would have thought from all of my YouTube days that I would have been better at it, but having a camera pointed at you with a camera person is different to doing it at home and editing it and all that sort of stuff. So that was for one night only, and then I picked the artwork up the next day, and then that weekend I had the art trail. So that was in the Orchard Cafe, and lovely staff, and got looked after with many coffees, and it was just a really nice atmosphere again. I got some time on the Sunday to go look at other people's art, which I forgot to film. Yeah, just really nice to interact with people, and some of my friends were having a hen do that day as well on the Sunday, and that was the first time I think they'd seen my artwork as a display up. They know that I paint, but to actually see it in a display was probably a bit different for them. So the next thing to get prepared for is the Upfest Festival, which is in about 3 weeks' time now, 3 or 4 weeks. So I've got a lot to prepare for in terms of the stencil and to get that ready. The stencil will only be little dots, be like just to get a vague outline, just to have the proportions right, and then go crazy with all my texture and colours on top of that. There's one thing about sitting and talking about your artwork, but to actually be painting and be able to talk to people while you're painting or in between and things, I much prefer to be moving and to have a focal point than to just be stood there with art I've already done. Because it's on for so long, it's on from 10 to 8 o'clock at night, it means in between having breaks I can go around and look at other people's art as well. Really looking forward to it. There's a few of my fellow art battle artists, so there's a lot of things happening. At this stage in my art career, it's not necessarily that financially sustainable. However, 5 years ago me would have not imagined that I would be at these events and to be able to net with other artists, some of which I've been following for a long time. So it's been a while since I picked up the camera, and I'm still getting used to the flow of it. Looking forward to getting back to this edit. Like I say, just finding that flow, finding that moment where I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to get it done all in a short space of time. There's one painting which is going to take me at least a month to do. We'll see. It's not just the painting though, it's the conception and the layers drying and figuring it out. Looking forward to sharing that with you all.